Hello guys. Welcome back to the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. I'm Sarah and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader today. So I'm coming to you in the midst of a thunderstorm, downpour, clearing, healing, very healing energy, tons of rain, wind, thunder, lightning. We've been getting this every day here, and I feel like this is really speaking to the astrology, the story that astrology is telling us. And wanted to let you guys know just a few quick announcements because I'm really excited to get into the cards, and I was called to use the Moonology deck just to look into the astrology and the moon cycles of what's happening, as well as the psychic tarot and the angels and ancestors. But I have a couple announcements. So I have the Twin Flame workbook that's now available for purchase on the website. Very, very excited to have finally released that to you guys. You can purchase it and download it right off the website under the offerings page. It's right at the top. Also, if you're looking for a personal reading, it's a live phone session with me, and I have several available. I think there's 6 different options available. And I have 2 new Patreon posts, one that's posted, one that's going to be posted by tonight. One is for the all access patrons. The other one, which is the Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction, special post, is going to be for the VIP patrons. If you're a VIP patron, you also get the abundance workbook for free. You just have to scroll up and you'll see that in the posts that are listed. If you can't find it, please reach out to me. I'm happy to guide you to it. And I'm really excited to work with you guys. The North Node readings are by far the all-time favorite of clients and my favorite. But I also am really enjoying the Saturn retrograde readings, the Jupiter and Aries readings, the full moon readings, and we also have Neptune retrograde. So there's a lot of planetary energy, and I was thinking about doing a special to offer you guys for a private reading for the Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction, but I may run out of time for that one, so we may just focus on some of this is a rare event, guys. This hasn't happened since 324 BC, so I'm going to be doing a special reading on that as well. I thought about doing it for this reading, but I think we're just going to focus on, well, we might focus on some of that. We might focus on some of that for this reading. Let's just, for shits and giggles. But if you want a written reading, my Patreon posts are written posts. If you want written posts, I have several this month. I think I'll have 6 or 7 already, and I might even put more up before the end of the month. So it's been quite a productive month over there on Patreon. And I'm really so thankful for the support, thankful for my moderators here on the channel. Thank you guys so much. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to look into, really itching to look into the Moonology deck, but we're going to start with the Tarot deck. I hope everyone is doing really well. I know there's a lot of physical symptoms out there, guys, for all my light workers, starseeds, twin flames. I know, the divine feminine, divine masculine template, and I know there's a lot of shifts occurring within those twin soul connections. So just want you guys to know that what you're experiencing is likely very normal, and it's a collective energy. There's a collective clearing happening. The first post that I put up on Patreon today, that is all about the energies of projection, the shadow self, and how we can recognize that within ourselves, how it plays out, why it's there, why we ignore it, why it's hard to heal it, and how that's playing out right now as a story collectively, because the narcissistic template is definitely playing out right now in the collective, and we're seeing those qualities in people we may have not expected to see them in before. So I wanted to do a special post on that. Just things that I've been noticing, my friends and my family have noticed, the collective has noticed, clients have noticed. So take a look at that, guys. Take a look at the Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction special post on Patreon, and stay tuned for much more. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we have is the 9 of Pentacles. Ooh, and the 2 of Pentacles. So looks like there's a crossroads currently. So for whomever is watching here, if you were called to tune in here, there's probably a message for you. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, if this is not your story, it's not your story. No big deal, no hard feelings. But yeah, the Two of Pentacles signals the energy of needing to make a choice, like which door are you going to open? I see the coins, I see the budding root, I see the air energy of, movement and thought. And then I also see the two rings, which could signal, marriage, or maybe dissolution of a marriage, coming together, or, a breakaway of a marriage. But what I do know is that the choice that you make is going to lead you to the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is what a lot of astrologers consider, and readers consider, the singles card. So there's an energy here of freedom. There's an energy here of detaching from what isn't working, creating for yourself, becoming abundant by your own means, not having to rely on others. So I think that's an important distinction to make is, a lot of people have the fear of going out on their own, the fear of being alone, ending up alone, going into business alone. And so, people take on partnerships in some way, shape, or form. That seventh house energy of partnerships, you take it on, and then maybe you realize, actually, I don't need anyone or anything, that I can create this for myself. So this is really a time of ripeness for the entrepreneurial spirit, and for people to step out of their 9 to 5, for people to step more into the energy of what really makes them feel like they're thriving and on fire and passionate. A lot of my clients are leaving the 9 to 5 this year, and they're heading into that entrepreneurial realm. They're creating for themselves. They're trusting the flow. They're trusting that they're going to be taken care of. And yes, it's very scary to do that. It can be very scary to leave what you know, to leave the known for the unknown. But with all this Scorpio Taurus energy, guys, and I talk about this on the post for the conjunction, with all of this energy, we've been through eclipse season. We're still in the Scorpio Taurus eclipse season. And that lunar eclipse in Scorpio back in May brought endings, so that we could have beginnings, but those endings can be very painful. So I think we're still dealing with the ramifications, or we're still dealing with the emotions that were connected to those endings. And so for some people it was relationships, for other people it's jobs, for other people it's the way that money is coming into you, for other people it's people have lost homes, had to downsize, people have had to really reconnect back with maybe asking people for help. Maybe they didn't, maybe you didn't grow up knowing how to ask for help. You were shamed for that. You always did everything alone, or you always did everything on your own, and now you're having to ask for help. So in whatever way this is playing out, there is a healing process happening. So this is going to be a good decision overall. Sorry guys, super thirsty. Apologize. It's going to be a good decision overall, and it's going to lead you towards greener pastures. It's going to create the wealth that you desire, the abundance that you've been striving for and been really wanting and craving and trying to build for yourself for a very long time. All right. Oh, interesting. So while I was shuffling, I said in my mind, divine masculine, and immediately got the judgment card. Okay, so immediately we got the truth card. So what does this tell us? This tells us that this is now a time for the divine masculine to search for answers, to search for their truth, his or her truth, your truth, if this is your inner masculine that you're watching for. This is not a divine masculine reading, by the way. This is an overall reading. And I was so excited, guys, to see. I put out both the divine feminine and divine masculine reading, I think 2 days ago. 1 or 2 days ago, and the divine feminine reading by far surpassed, the views by far surpassed the divine masculine reading. So that tells me that you guys are very much into your own healing at this time. You're very much interested in how to help yourself, and not as much interested in what the divine masculine is doing. If you're a divine masculine watching, hopefully you're not as much interested in what the divine feminine is doing, and you're each on your own path, and you're creating. 9 of Wands energy there, 9 of Pentacles energy. You're creating, you're making the right decisions for yourself, and you're really starting to question things. You're starting to question decisions you've made. You're starting to, you're on this spiritual awakening path, divine masculine. You see this divine masculine looking out the window into the universe, and he's balancing. There's a balancing act going on here. There's been a wake-up call, though, and there is this huge wake-up call. This Uranus-Mars North-Node conjunction is a huge wake-up call to our personal power, to where we've given it away, to where we haven't spoken up for ourselves, where we haven't fought for what we believed in, and usually that means our own self, like where we haven't fought for what we deserved. And I feel like the Divine Masculine is having that realization, like, I haven't fought for enough in my life. I haven't fought for much, and I haven't fought for myself. Like, I've given away my power to all these people, to bosses, to employers, to money, to just this like societal idea of what abundance is. So he's having these major, really evaluating, like a life evaluation, if you will, is what is happening here in this particular card for this particular deck. Whatever lessons the Divine Masculine feels like they still need to learn, those will be revealed to them at this time. So they are definitely, with Judgment, they are definitely moving towards forgiveness and understanding, having more compassion, and they're not making swift decisions. These are slower decisions, and I did feel that energy. I talked about that a little bit to my group today. I felt the energy of the Divine Masculine really slowing down, which is huge, because the Divine Masculines for some time have been going, you know, like nonstop. So to see the energy of the masculine slowing down was really refreshing to feel that. So let's get a card specifically for the feminine. That was easy. Oh, both of you, the Fool. So it's funny, the feminine's beginning a brand new cycle. The masculine's the next card in the major arcana that follows the Judgment card, or in this deck Truth, is the World card, whereas this is the beginning. This is zero. So the feminine is at this really connecting to the 0 point energy field of all possibilities, new fresh beginnings. You see her, she's like, I don't need a map, I know the way. And new chapter, new style, new cycle. If you've gone through the World and you're at the Full card, you have, you know, wrapped up karmic completions, karmic endings. You just heard like you've reached a boiling point. I don't know if that's a particular message for maybe a chemist out there, or maybe your DM's a chemist, but I did hear boiling point, or maybe you're a chef or a cook, but that came through as being significant. Don't always know why when the messages come through or who they're for, but I do like to relay them. So there is definitely that boiling point energy, like something is about to give, something is about to happen. So that's exciting. For me, the Fool card is jump and the net will appear. You know, having the trust that the net is going to appear to create this material harvest, to create this abundance that the Divine Feminine has been aspiring towards, you know, creatively for quite some time. Taking that leap of faith towards being a solo entrepreneur, towards, you know, creating your own, making your own way in life. Nothing is yet set in stone. We have the mutable moon energy. So I feel like this is mostly for the masculine energy, because, you know, with the Judgment card, it's like, yeah, you're in the process of review. It's a life review. That's what the Judgment card is. So you're not necessarily going to have all the answers right now. You're not going to be able to access everything. You're not going to be able to like open the file and access what it is that you need. You're going to have to spend some time reviewing possibilities, right? Two of Pentacles. So I think this is a good energy overall. I think it's symbolic for the masculines of sort of like they needed to know that things could change. They needed to know that there were other routes, there were other possibilities that could be presented to them. They're having to be really adaptable. They're having to be flexible. They're no longer as distracted as they used to be. You can't really be distracted in this kind of energy. If you look at the waves there, they're very choppy, they're volatile. So it's like they're having to sort of grip and hold on to something right now. And that something is really themselves. They're discovering their own truth here. The Judgment card is a solo energy. It's not one that you're doing with a group or doing with others. This is an energy that you're kind of fiddling with yourself. So a lot of change, something is still developing, okay? So This forgiveness is still being developed, this enlightenment, this truth that the divine masculine is seeking. They haven't yet found their truth. They haven't yet found their center. They haven't yet found or discovered all the answers. So it's still a little murky for them, but they're searching. They're definitely in the process of searching. Divine feminine, a time for healing. Beautiful. Beautiful light of the balsamic moon here, a new moon energy. Yeah, a new moon would correspond with new beginnings, right? Exactly. Just that little sliver, that beautiful little sliver. It's like, this is a time for you to heal from the past and heal from those, whatever you've just completed was a rough cycle, okay? You may still be in it. You may still be feeling there may still be remnants of that old cycle that you're having to power through. And again, for a lot of people, this is in, the relationship realm, but in some way, because these conjunctions are meeting up in Taurus, the Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction at the end of the month. Depending on where you are in the world, it's July 31st or August 1st, but it's meeting up in the sign of Taurus. We're already very much feeling the energy of this shakeup. Okay, Uranus is a disruptive energy. Mars is an aggressive energy, passionate energy, and the North Node, is it's the node of destiny. So it's like, where is it that along the path to discovering our destiny or finding our destiny have we been disrupted? Where is it that maybe we haven't stood up for ourselves, told the truth, or embraced our truth? Where have we not been authentic? We've been inauthentic. That's going to come out right now. But it's causing definitely flare-ups in egos. It's causing again, the shadow side, the shadow work, which I talk about in my posts over on Patreon. It's causing a lot of projection that people, you do it, you don't even realize you're projecting your own insecurities or fears out onto others, but that's happening a lot right now in the world. There's, fear can turn into all sorts of emotions. So can anger, right? It can be masked. It's anger, but it's masking another emotion. It's fear, but it's masked, or it comes out as projection, but it's masking fear. So a lot of triggers flying around, a lot of heated debates, arguments. Keep your cool as much as possible, Divine Feminine. Keep to yourself. Keep doing what you need to do. Keep focusing on what you need to focus on. Don't worry about anybody else right now. That's their path. Walk your path. And just focus on your own healing. Everyone just needs to focus on their own healing at this time. Warrior, be fearless and stand strong. Yeah, be fearless and stand strong in your convictions and what you believe in, what you know to be true, and who you are. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Don't let anybody try to take you off of your path. Trust your talents in changing times. Spirit Fox, interesting. And then Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action. Yeah, and graceful in word, I would add. So again, don't be the bigger person, take the higher road, don't be combative back, don't give into that very kind of warrior-like energy of Mars. Like, this is a different kind of warrior. This is like the healed divine masculine warrior. That's like, I stand strong in my convictions and what I believe in, and I'm fearless, but I'm not here to hurt. I'm not here to attack. I'm just here to defend what it is that I believe in. There's a difference between attacking, offense and defense. This is defense. This is not offense. And then Spirit Fox, yeah, trust your talents, guys. If someone's tried to knock your talents, or someone's tried to tell you that you're not good enough, or if somebody in some way has attempted to derail you from what it is that you're supposed to do, what it is that you're doing, how you're doing things, just don't pay attention to that kind of energy. That's negative energy. Just let it go. A lot of people are, again, firing away, but they're actually really talking about themselves. They don't even know it. They're projecting. So just keep this to yourself. Be as graceful as possible in your responses and reactions to these people. Whether it's a stranger or a loved one, and what's happening, just keep your calm. You see how very centered and focused this person is? You're being asked to stay focused and centered in your own energy so that nobody can burst that bubble, even though people will try to. They'll try like hell to burst that bubble. Don't let it happen. Stay alert. Spirit Fox, the fox animal, is very alert. Okay. Very focused, very alert, very calm. I'm liking all of these energies. And there's a resiliency. The red fox is very resilient. They can survive in, you know, freezing temperatures. Think of the Arctic red fox. They can survive in freezing temperatures alone. They know what to do to survive. So you're a survivor. And if you're watching this, this is a message for you to continue doing what you're doing. Again, don't let anybody derail you. Don't let anybody tell you what you can or cannot do, or who you are, who you aren't, what you think, what you feel. Don't allow that to happen, Divine Feminine. Really just, you know, just stay focused, stay the course, know who you are, know what you stand for, and you will be unbreakable. So even though there's a lot of changing energies, even though there might be some very kind of combative energies around, or, you know, you might not expect certain reactions or responses from people that you're getting, don't allow other people's energies to affect your energy. Stay peaceful, stay calm, stay centered, be graceful, and movement, action, and word. Okay, don't allow somebody else to deter you. Just honestly, guys, I can't stress that enough. Okay? Cannot stress that enough. So let's see. What else do I want to say about the Shaolin Master? Be gentle, okay? There's a gentleness too. Be gentle, even if somebody's not being gentle with you. I didn't even notice this until now, but yes, he's balancing a ball in air. But he's also got this grasshopper that, I believe it's a grasshopper, a praying mantis perhaps, praying mantis, that is just balancing, you know, on his hand. So he's being gentle and graceful so that he doesn't crush or hurt this beautiful animal. And so there's a tenderness with his actions. There's a tenderness with his intentions. There's a tenderness with which he moves. So even though there's a ninja within, like a warrior, again, a warrior within, he's not, he's conducting himself in such a graceful manner that he's more Buddha-like than warrior. Tap into the energy, you know, your energy reserves. Tap into that deeper energy to find your sense of peace, and make sure that you preserve it. Nobody can touch you, and nobody can affect you. Their words can't affect you unless you allow them to, unless you give them permission to. Don't give people the key or permission to your energy. You're in charge of your energy. So that's all you can do. You can't control somebody else, but you can control your own energy, your responses, your reactions to them. Where you may have been forceful in the past, and this is for both feminine and masculine energies, you're going to find yourself more, just more subtle, like a more subtle energy, a more graceful energy, a more feminine energy. Especially when it comes to tasks, you know, when you're accomplishing certain tasks, you're gonna move with, it's gonna be like slow and steady wins the race. Not as pushy, not as forceful with yourself or others to get things done. It's like, oh, I have all the time in the world. I'm going to sit here and meditate for a little bit longer. I'm gonna sit here and be in my peaceful energy for, you know, X amount of time. And then when I do come out, I'm going to, you know, emerge as the warrior, but I'm a warrior of the heart. I'm leading from the heart and not the head. So this is not a warrior who has to be right all the time. This is not a warrior who has to win at all costs. This is a warrior who's really done his work and who sees that the true value of the masculine energy is to protect, is to serve, but to serve from a place of boldness and fearlessness that comes from the heart. So really important messages that I feel like needed to be heard today. I just want to see if there's anything else. I am thinking, yeah, let's go back to the tarot deck, shall we? What can we look forward to for the end of July here? Well, we got the heart chakra, so yeah, leading from the heart, speaking from the heart. Can't really go wrong when you approach things, you know, heart-centered. See if we can get some more clarification there. A lot of energy in the cards. The Strength card coming up. It came up the other day also. The Strength card and the Solitude. Lots of major arcana energy. So there might be a feeling of powerlessness right now as the universal energies really take control here. Okay, so when we see a lot of major arcana, we know minor arcana is, you know, within the human realm, if you will. Major arcana is universal. So yeah, we have the energy of going within. We have the energy of solitude. So what does that tell us? It's a hermit energy. It's like this quiet, this warrior, this quiet strength, that this quiet fortitude and resolve that comes from knowing thyself. I feel like going into this hermit mode, going into this, you know, judgment mode for the masculine is what's going to bring this material harvest that we talked about at the beginning of the reading, because there's choices to make here that are going to change the trajectory of all of our lives. I mean, everything is changing all the time right now. From day to day, you can go to the store and not know what's going to be available, not know what the price of oil or gas is going to be, not know where you're going, where you came from, what's next, what, you know, it's like we only have control of ourselves and of the present moment of day to day. So we want to make sure that we really embrace and embody a sense of peace in these disruptive times. Of course, Uranus is adding to the mix here with the conjunction, but talk about that more over on Patreon, and I'll talk about it more in a video here that I will do before the end of the month for you guys, where we'll focus just on that energy to see what is coming up and what is really important. But just know that you're in control of your reactions and responses. Take this time to really develop your own strength, to know your strength, not just develop it, but to know your strength, to study it. And don't be afraid, you know, divine masculine, of what you find. Okay, forgive yourself, forgive others, forgive the passage of time for what it's done, forgive the choices you've made. You know, there's like a forgiveness of, maybe I've made the wrong choices in the past. It's a life review energy with the Judgment card. Just know that, you know, nothing is set in stone, and that what is coming, what is on the horizon is really good. This is a really positive card. It speaks of, again, an entrepreneurial spirit, being able to create for oneself, not having to rely on something outside of you. So you have what it takes, you know, whoever is watching, you have what it takes to create abundance and prosperity and success. Just believe that you can thrive, not just survive, but believe you can thrive, and you will have access to it. Okay, take really good care, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. And if you wouldn't mind just dropping a like, a share, subscribe, head over to my Patreon if you'd like to support me that way. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can do that on my website. All of that information is listed below in the description box. And take really good care, guys. I'll see you soon.